Bonjour, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 56 on YouTube. Uh, Thank you guys for following me on this journey that we're all on, and thank you for listening if you have. Um, just want to give you a quick reminder that I do have a podcast on Spotify with the same name, Tiggy Maximus Talks. So you can listen to me just talk on there, not see my face, or you could be on here and see my face and talk. Pretty much the same material. Anywho, um, I just want to talk about these two comedy shows I went to, um, and also a little bit of this roast battle. I did go on Friday night, but I don't think I talked much about it. So let's get into it, guys. Um, so I went to a comedy show Saturday night after watching the WWE's Elimination Chamber. And then I head on over to the mic drop for the Black Outside comedy show, um, featuring headliner Jeremy Gumbo Christian. So it was hosted by Bilal Young. First time seeing him. Um, I actually kind of liked his stand up in between comics and in the beginning. Um, I would kind of say he's like an 8.1 out of 10 for his kind of comedy. I mean, I enjoyed it, and there were some laughs. He did have a hard time making this one lady laugh in the front row, but just kind of, she's probably giving him a hard time. And then there's another lady next to her, I think, said that she only laughed one time during the entire show. So, yeah, there's that. Um, so, yeah, Bilal Young then introduced Camille Waters. I've seen her quite a bit now. Always funny. Um, a lot of the bits are mostly the same from what I've seen, especially since the fact that I actually saw her at the Pally since she was filling in for someone who did a no-show at Cash Comedy Show at the Pally Company in Little Italy. Um, so, but the material that Camille Waters had, I I liked it a lot. I give her an 8.6 out of 10. Um, if anything, she might have been the funniest of the group that showed up at the Black Outside comedy. Not to be biased or anything. Um, Next up, I think we have Walter Ford. Um, uh, this might have been my first time seeing a full set from Walter Ford. I might have seen him at an open mic at the Comedy Store. Um, uh, Walter Ford did dress nicely. He has some funny bits. He even took off his coat, jacket, so that everyone can see that he actually owns a coat, a nice coat, nice jacket. So, for his set, um, I would say he was pretty funny. 8.3 out of 10. Um, let's see. Uh, who else was on the show? Oh yeah, we got uh P Man, Pierre Turner. Apparently, his name is. Um, Actually, I took that back. P Man was actually the funniest guy on the lineup. um, so he went up, did talk about going to. I think he said he went to Arkansas and stuff, and yeah, I think he might have talked about how uh how some bigger guy at a club was, I guess, said something to P Man's wife or something, and P Man didn't want to get into any kind of confrontation. So I think he might have said, "Babe, you might have to take one for the team to avoid any kind of trouble." uh, think people laughed. Um, P Man also talked about how uh, his kids, um, I guess, they might have been a little high, and when the TV broke, the son, I guess, he had the balls to tell P Man, "Didn't you buy it like that?" Everybody laughed. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed P Man's show. I saw him once before. I think I saw P Man at the I want to say Pally. So super funny guy. I'm glad I got to see him again. Um, uh, so I give P Man an 8.9 out of 10. That's how funny I think he is. Um, I think I had him close to 9 something, but then it kind of scaled back a little. But 8.9 is pretty good on my scale. Um, so after P Man, we have our headliner, Jeremy Gumbo Christian. Um, guy was guy was pretty funny. Um, he had some interactions with the crowd. That was good. Although I find it that he may have had a hard time closing his set, so it kind of dragged on, and he may have had nothing else to say in like the last minute. So, but overall, I enjoyed the set. I thought that his set was 8.4 out of 10. So that's my thoughts about the Black Comedy Show, and I'm glad I went. It was even cool was that Bilal Young took the mic at the end, and he asked how I was since I was sitting to the side, and I told him I was good. And he asked who I was here to see, and I told him I was here to see everyone. And he replied, bullshit. Who are you here really to see? And I said, yeah, I'm here for everybody. I actually promoted the show on my Instagram. And then he said, oh, that was you? I was trying to figure out who Tiggy Tony was. Thank you so much. And everyone, give a round of applause to Tony here for doing that for all of us. He didn't have to do that. So that made me feel pretty good about that moment. Um, so um, I ended up going to the Hollywood Improv Sunday night. It was hosted by my friend comic Sarah Holstead. Um, she did a bottle shock comedy there. It's a usual thing, maybe once a month or twice a month or so. So she always has a good show in the lineup. And uh, throughout the night, I actually thought that Sarah's comedy was an 8.6 out of 10. Pretty good, decent stuff. Um, she did bring up a new guy. I think his name was Dennis Bick or Denny Bick. So he talked about being in an apartment and talked about flossing and basically brushing teeth and stuff. I thought he was a 8.2 out of 10. And then we next Sarah Halstead brought up uh, Tavares Smith. I think it might be my first time actually seeing him too. Um, he talked about how he wanted to open a natural smoothie juice shop, and he wanted um, uh, he wanted one of the items to be called free OJ orange juice, and then he also made a reference to Casey Anthony strawberry smoothie, and um, there might have been a reference to Alec Baldwin, um, shot of wheat. Yeah. So a lot of references to celebrities and incidents and stuff as part of a naming of a smoothie. So that was kind of cool of him. After that, overall, I thought his set was 8.3 out of 10. So funny stuff. And then I got to see Samantha Howe. First time seeing her, keep seeing her name around, and she had funny stuff. She talked about how she had done a set at a rock and roll guitar shop, and she completely bombed. No one laughed, and there was an old man, like in his 90s, came up to Samantha Howe after the show and said, "At least you had fun." So, um, so yeah. Overall, she had a lot of good stuff. I like to say her set was um an 8.5 out of 10. Um, Next up, I believe we have Jennifer Sturger. She came up. I've seen her quite a few times now. Um, I thought that it wasn't too much new material, so I have heard it. So I would say just because I've heard it, I would give her like maybe an 8.5 out of 10. Um, but uh, awesome. She has some great stuff. Is always a winner when she talks about how does a human can possibly justify having four functional lightsabers. So yeah, and then the whole bit about um having the audacity to say that these lightsabers were for protection, and her comment was protection from vaginas. So yeah, she's always funny. Hopefully, she has some new material down the road when I see her again. Because it gets to a point if I see someone too often, then or over a lot of time has passed, and yet I'm still hearing the same stuff. So I kind of want to see if there's some new stuff they have out there. So next up, we have Rich Castler. I've seen him before. Um, I've seen his set twice now. He likes to talk about if you want to have a good time at someone's house, take a bath and read a book in the guest bathroom. Uh, that was kind of funny. He also talks about how he was like a wine enthusiast, and he doesn't like how snooty snoot people are about wine. So, and then talked about how when you're just whisking around, shaking around or shaking your wine glass with wine, and you're just saying just random stuff. Oh yeah, this tastes smells like the spring air of 1974 in here or something. So that was pretty funny. He actually has 900 bottles of wine according to Sarah. So overall, I would say that his set was a 8.4 out of 10. Next up we have Bobby Oliver. My first time seeing her. She was quite funny. I would give her an 8.7 out of 10. I guess she was the funniest out of the whole group, I guess. And uh, she talked about how she was once called in for a reality game show or a reality TV show where her and her husband had to have sex in a box. Um, so she managed to tell everybody that everyone was getting paid $500 to do it in a box on TV, but she got the producers to give her $2,000 to have sex with her husband because she says she's not gonna do it for $500 with her husband. 2,000 maybe. So pretty funny gal. And then we have our headliner, Chris Spencer. he actually had to deal with some people talking during the set, so you always kept addressing him a few times during the set. Um, but overall, I thought he was kind of funny. I guess he wrote the jokes for Wild and Out or something. Um, so yeah, that was pretty cool. Or I don't know if it's for Wild and Out or it might be some other TV show or something. Because I mentioned before that Jeremy Christian might have been the one who wrote material for Wild and Out. So I tend to get I've heard it on Saturday night and Sunday night. So maybe I have them interchanged, or it might be as I got might have had it right the first time. Overall, great lineup. I'm glad I went to the Hollywood Improv. I actually had their sliders. It was pretty good. Um, and I can't wait to go back again. So I'll look at the lineup, and I'll just make a quick trip up to Hollywood. So one more thing. I did get to watch UFC Fight Night Las Vegas. Blanchfield versus Jessica Andrade. Fight didn't last too long. It ended in the second round. Blanchfield, who was ranked number 10, and Andrade was ranked number 3 in the flyweight division. I've seen Blanchfield take some big shots from Andrade, but um, Blanchfield used her grappling, and then she ended up choking out Jessica Andrade. So Blanchfield might be your new number one contender or something. So she might actually beat Valentina Shevchenko. So let's see what happens. All right, guys. Tiggy Maximus out. Talk to you guys later. Be safe. Have fun. Booyah!